Hello everyone, my name is Mateusz Ciesielski and this video is about how to stretch your pectoral muscles. Okay, so why we should stretch pectoral muscles? One of the main reasons is because of the environment we are these days as humans. Everything is pushing us forward. When we drive, when we type by the computer, when we read. So it's quite frequently that we might start closing up here, and that might contribute to increased curvature in your thoracic spine, and that later might lead to different problems around your shoulder, neck, even wrist. So when we stretch pectoral muscles, and if we're gonna affect the whole muscle chain, you can help with symptoms like carpal tunnels and pins and needles or paresthesias in your fingers, and a lot of other problems around the shoulder area. So one of my favorite ways to stretch your pectoral muscle is to use the door frame. So you can see there is many videos that will just ask you to bend your elbow in around 90 degrees, you're gonna press your elbow against the door frame and you're gonna step forward. And yeah, I'm absolutely right, and you're gonna stretch the pectoral muscle. But if we want to have a bigger impact on pectoral muscle, it's good to affect longer muscle chain and to work on different actins of the pectoral muscles, because the lower actins goes this way, then around the sternum actins goes this way, and the actins around here goes here. So depending where we are actually gonna put our arm, how high, we're gonna affect different actins of the muscle. So what I like to do is to use the door frame. What you want to do is to grab the door frame, step forward, and imagine you want to lean slightly forward with your whole body weight and hold it for about 10-15 seconds. I can feel gentle stretch around here and around here. I'm not pushing myself too much, it's nice. Now as you can see, my hand is below the level of my shoulder. That's done on purpose. Now I'm gonna grab the door frame slightly higher up. So I'm gonna affect the actins of the pectoral muscle slightly lower. And again, I'm grabbing the door frame and I start to turn, and then I push my chest forward. And again, I hold for about 10-15 seconds, or I can do it in more of a dynamic way. And then you're gonna hold the door frame quite high up, and you're gonna affect the actins that are quite close to the abdominal area. And again, you grab the door frame, you start to twist, and you should feel nice pulling sensation. So when I show the stretch for my clients for the pectoral muscles, I show them to do it in a way so they can affect whole muscle chain. By whole muscle chain, I mean pectoral muscles, bicep, flexors of your wrist. Then we can affect this way actually the whole myofascial system around that area, affect the brachial plexus, so the nerves that are supplying your hand with nerves. But also we can partly help with thoracic outlet syndrome, especially the arterial one, when sometimes the subclavius muscle and the pectorals can give a bit of compression to the artery under your clavicle, and then it won't supply your hand with enough blood. So the way you want to do it, you're gonna start first, you're gonna turn to the wall, you're gonna put your hand flat on the wall, you're gonna spread your fingers. Now you don't need to completely put your hand completely flat, you can give few inches or few centimeters be away, and then you want to be more or less on the level of your shoulder, and slowly I'm going to start to turn. Now, what is very important that I won't keep my shoulder like this. I want to drop it down. And as I'm turning, I can slowly start feeling some sensation around the pectoral area, around the bicep, and around here, around the elbow. So that means I'm starting to affect the whole muscle chain, probably the median nerve as well. Now, it's easy to do too much, so it needs to be nice and pleasant. And the way to indicate if you're doing it correctly, if you can hold this position for about 10 seconds and you feel the sensation is actually getting less intense, that means you're doing it right. If you're holding the position and suddenly you feel it's getting tighter, the sensation is getting stronger, that means you're doing it too strong. Because after about 10 seconds, you should be able to feel, okay, that has relaxed a bit, and I can have a bit more turn, or I can apply a bit of tension with my fingers on the wall. So I'm holding and I'm pressing with my fingers on the wall. That will activate the muscles around the forearm, and when I release, suddenly I can go a bit further. With this stretch, I usually recommend to do it for about 30 seconds on each side, and I'm gonna do it twice. And why twice? Because I'm gonna do it for 30 seconds on one side, the other side, and as I go back, I can see, hey, have I gained a bit more range of movement or not? So that's an indication for me if I've done it correctly. It needs to be pain-free. You can feel some discomfort, and as I said, some sensitivity, but it cannot be done when you feel, oh gosh, that really hurts. You're doing it too strong. Now, don't worry if you won't be able to keep your hand fully flat or you won't be able to turn it too much. As long as you feel the pulling sensation, that means you're doing it correctly and you're making some change in your body. I'm doing this stretch on a regular basis in between my clients, so that's why I have some pretty good range of movement here. So something to keep in mind. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of those really hardcore techniques where you put your whole body weight on a massage ball or on a foam roller or on the Olympic bar when you're just gonna roll through the muscle and you're squishing them. But well, we need to remember that if you got some aches or pains related to some muscle, that means there's something wrong there. There is probably an energy crisis there and the muscle fibers doesn't want to detach. So if you're going to be really cruel to it, you can actually cause more harm than benefits. So another way of how you can use a massage ball on your pectoral muscles instead of putting a bar and just roll it through, or just laying down on the kettlebell, how I've seen some people do. You can basically lean on the wall. So first thing, you find a tender spot. Let's say it's here. Now I'm just gently applying pressure with my body weight, and instead of pushing it really hard, I just start to move up and down with my arm. And I'm doing that till the point I can feel that the movement starts to be actually quite easy. That means the muscle has relaxed. I did what I supposed to do. Now, to affect your pectoral muscle, you can also use a massage ball, which I call like that. It's actually a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball. And that is a fantastic way to give an extra input on your pectorals if you felt that you're still not getting enough of range of movement after doing your stretches, or basically if you feel that stretches are not enough. So you can start just first with rolling through the muscle fibers. So I'm going up and down. If you can feel there is some tender spot, you can focus on that for a bit longer. Now, if you want to use a massage ball to help you with the stretch, you can do it in quite an easy way, but be careful because it can be quite powerful. So, I'm taking the ball. I found there is some tender spot around. It might be a trigger point, it might not need to be, it might be one of the satellite trigger points, so it might be a trigger point in the future or has been created a trigger point by some other muscle previously. So I got a sensitive spot. I'm applying pressure here. Now I'm pulling the skin and the muscles. I'm applying quite a bit of pressure and I'm pulling it towards the center of my chest. And now gently I'm lifting my arm up and I'm externally rotating it. And I'm going back. And I do it again. I can feel it's quite intense. So I'm doing it gently and slowly. I'm trying to find a different spot. And I repeat. Now I'm not forcing myself to go as far as possible because I'm already limiting the movement with the ball. But as I'm holding mechanically the muscle and then using extra movement, I'm already doing the job.
And that will be all for today. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to learn a bit more about me and what I do, please visit one of my web pages. You can also visit my Facebook fan pages and click like button to stay up to date with new videos and posts. See you soon in another video.